Hello everyone, Mr. Lipchick here, and our topic for discussion today is cultural exchange. Cultures cannot be stopped from coming into contact with one another. Ideas, traditions, and customs are shared when cultural convergence occurs. Cultural diffusion is defined as the exchange of ideas from one group to another. Globalization is when cultural diffusion happens rapidly. Religions such as Christianity and Islam have been spread through cultural diffusion. Traits or complexes from one society are transferred to another through the process of cultural diffusion. A cultural complex is defined as a group of interrelated cultural traits that are dominated by one single trait. Stimulus diffusion is when a principle or idea behind a cultural trait is adopted, but the actual cultural trait is not. Cultural diffusion takes place when aspects of one culture spread to another culture. Foods, clothing, and religious practices are examples. Diffusion no longer requires direct human contact, as the internet allows diffusion of ideas, behaviors, and other traits almost instantly. This worldwide exchange of ideas is part of globalization. Acculturation is also associated with cultural contact and exchange of information. Unlike diffusion, however, a group only adopts portions of the other group's culture. Acculturation occurs when a weaker culture adopts aspects of a dominant culture on a large scale and becomes transformed. For acculturation to happen, the weaker culture has to abandon traditional cultural elements such as beliefs, practices, language, and clothing to embrace elements of the dominant culture. This happens often within minority groups living within a dominant culture. There are three possible outcomes to acculturation. 1. The non-dominant culture completely disappears. 2. The non-dominant culture adopts most of the elements of the dominant culture, but preserves some of its own tradition. Or 3. The non-dominant culture generally blends into the dominant culture, eventually fully assimilating into that culture. That concludes our discussion of cultural change. Thank you for attending, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson. Have a great day.